Okay. I think it's here.
You think it's working?
I think we're here. Anyways. Oh. I always forget something.
What did you forget?
To go on Do Not Disturb. Anyways. So, today we have some guests. And you're gonna see that this was a very hard thing to lay out. So, everybody welcome the many, the Threnny, the all of them and above. Shini Jesus Christ.
So big.
As well as Faye
Glory.
and Yoshi.
Hi.
So yes, hello. Today, we are talking about a lovely, near and dear. Well, I say near and dear. It's not near and dear. If anything, I have a love-hate relationship with it, as I fear multiple people do, but K-pop.
I just fear it.
Yeah. I mean, that makes sense for you. But
I tolerate it.
I think
you've been dragged to things. So, like...
I have been dragged to things.
oh my gosh.
We can tell that
you have.
story.
I don't feel like there's much to tell.
I've also
I've
been dragged to
forced-
things. We were both dragged to things by the same person.
Oh yes, by me. To see K-pop boys. Yes, I'm sorry. I'm not really, but I'd do it again if I could. So
Which one? The Rose or TXT?
Both.
We stopped in an entire state so you could drag me somewhere.
We stopped at Shini, but she wasn't there.
No, I wasn't. I wasn't
would not
invited.
Well, if only I, knew.
I got to explore some of Atlanta on my own because of it.
On your
That's true.
own.
Yeah, because I let Yoshi keep our spot in line while I went to go get a Starbucks.
Oh, right. I just remember when we went to go get
She got
bagels.
I don't think I,
I
got lost.
I don't even remember that. I remember being in the hotel the night before the concert and ordering pizza, and they gave us a pack of fried mushrooms, and we were
Yeah.
like, nobody asked for this.
Yeah, but that pizza was good. I actually really liked that
Pizza was really good. I remember. Didn't you go to like?
pack of fried mushrooms?
We
don't
ordered
know.
fried mozzarella.
Yeah, we
I mean, it
ordered
was
mozzarella.
Mushrooms and mozzarella.
It was not the same thing that
At
we
words,
wanted.
you know.
But it's
but-
fine. Anyways. But yeah.
Quiz, you have a story.
What story? Which one?
You said you would tell me on the
Oh,
pod.
right! I almost forgot about it. I have a story
okay.
that has nothing to do with K-pop that I'm gonna tell all of you now. Yoshi already knows, but I'm gonna tell the rest of you. So this past Thursday, I was getting ready for bed. And I had already gone to the bathroom. I had brushed my teeth, washed my face, taken my contacts out, and all that stuff. And I put on my lovely pajama bottoms because I can't be bothered to sleep in really stuffy pants in Florida of all times. But
Fair.
basically, I went to go into bed, and my blanket was like in a ball at the end of my bed, and I had picked it up and like was trying to unfurl it with my hands and like spread it out with my legs, and I felt something on the sheet, and it felt cold and it felt wet, and I didn't know what it was. And for some reason, the only thing I can think of, like the only thing that was in my mind, was a rubber band for some reason, because it almost felt rubbery. And I rolled it a bit for a second to be like, what is that, to try and feel it, because I couldn't see. Not only was it dark in the room, but it was under something, and I didn't have contacts in. And then I was like, please don't be something gross. And so I pulled back my blanket and I turned the light on, and I got really close, and I saw that it was a baby lizard. That was now thoroughly shocked and on the verge of death, because I don't think it was expecting someone to get into bed with it, let alone me. And so after that happened, I then got out of my bed and ran over, and I was shocked in the living room, wanting to die, and I was like, I need to change all my bedding to my mother. And I then proceeded to take the baby lizard, which I knew was vaguely still alive because it would twitch if I touched something on the bed, but it was not moving. by itself, took that outside, and also its tail came off, so I had to take that out separately, and then proceeded to strip everything off of my bed and replace it with something else, and then wash that. And yeah. That was my
Apparently
story.
he screamed too.
I have two similar stories to that, but it's worse.
Is it a roach?
Yep.
A roach isn't as bad.
No, it is worse
It's
than a lizard.
worse.
That's because
It
you
is
don't like
so
roaches.
much worse.
I fucking hate them.
I'd rather
Twice.
see a lizard than a fucking roach, honestly.
Yeah, I'd rather see a fucking lizard. I would have been fine if a lizard. I haven't been able to sleep in my room because of what happened to me.
Well, you've had multiple different instances of bad.
Too many instances.
It's because they know.
They know. Literally, I washed
Did you ever
my
tell
sheets.
them about the time that you asked Mermaid to come over? Because of the
I'm pretty
bathroom
sure I've
incident?
told. I'm pretty sure I've told that story before.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm
God.
pretty sure I did. This one happened like a month ago. I washed my sheets. They were in the dryer for like a day because I forgot about them, and I'm lazy. And I grabbed my sheets and I was flipping something inside out. And when I reached in, a huge ass roach comes crawling up my arm. Yep. I
Ew.
screamed.
Oh, thank you.
I wanted to die. I killed it. I
Oh, I'm
threw it
proud of
away,
you.
and then I know, right? I don't know how I did it. It was huge. I wanted to die. I grabbed all of my sheets again and put them right back in the wash because I was like, the fuck? And then the second thing that happened to me, I was dead asleep, and I swear to God, I don't know if it was actually in the bed with me, but I swear to everything that I felt something crawling up my leg and up my arm.
Ew.
And this was like at 3 a.m, by the way. Like I was dead asleep, but I felt something, and I woke up and I stood still and I felt it again. I freaked the fuck out. I flailed my arms. I did everything. Got up, turned on the light, and there at the foot of my bed, like on the floor, was another giant ass roach.
Well,
I don't know
you
if it was in the bed with me. I don't know if I was having a nightmare.
Or
Because
if you were having an ESP session, like you
I don't
just
know.
knew.
It was
don't
an
know.
omen.
I don't know. But I had poison in the room, so it was drugged up pretty much. Like it wasn't really moving. So I killed it. And then I immediately went into my mom's bed, and I was like, I'm sleeping with you for the rest of the night because I can't sleep in my bed right now.
Wow. I mean, roaches are around places that are dirty, so if anything, that just means that your room is dirty.
No, that's not what that means. My room is ridiculously clean, and I put poison like every 2-ish weeks. What was happening was we were feeding the cat. So my bedroom door is right next to the screen door for like the porch, and we have been seeing these really big roaches because that's where we feed. That used to be where we fed the cat. So we are thinking that because the foods of the cat attracted the roaches, they came inside. I'm like the first door that they can crawl into, and they come into my room. Ever since we moved where the cat ate to the front, and we sealed off like extras, we put poison and then we sealed it off. We haven't seen one come in, so we're thinking it was that. So now I'm not as paranoid.
That's just because you don't see them. They're still there.
No, shut up.
They're hiding. They're
not
watching you,
They're
actually.
not. They're not. Shut
Out
up.
of sight, out of mind.
That's like freaking Sarah out saying all the spiders.
Well,
Out of sight, out of mind.
I mean, you guys haven't seen that many spiders, though. You saw
We
like
only
that
met
one.
Other than the one time where she called the front office to come
Yeah.
remove.
Yeah.
Other than that one
Oh,
time
poor
when I wasn't
Sarah.
even here. Yeah.
I never even got a good look at it because it was so far away that it was like blurry to me.
You know, they didn't either.
Yeah.
It's just been living
Came
rent
in
free.
and was like, hopefully it's dead.
Okay, anyways, so back to the topic at hand.
Right, now that we've gone off topic.
I love the sharing though.
So, K-pop. I know that Sarah only knows about stuff via us. And even then, that stuff is limited because it probably
I
has
know
gone in her
about
mind and
Buddy
out of
Boy.
it. Okay, but do you
Buddy
remember
Boy,
his name?
What's the actual name?
Who?
Does it start with a J?
No.
No.
Nope. That I have no fucking
Okay,
clue.
so and then Faye only knows stuff basically through Custer and Corey. I think Corey was into some
Yeah,
stuff
Corey
too.
was really big on it too. But I know like older stuff, like Super Junior was also like my thing. Big Bang, for 21. But yeah, those
Shiny?
old shit.
Maybe Shiny. Well, I feel like Shiny wasn't as global at the time. Even
But I knew
then.
of Shiny, and I listened
I
to
thought
their
they were
songs
kinda
too.
big back in the day, though.
Well, no, in the day, but that's the thing. K-pop also, that's another thing we can discuss, how K-pop has changed as the years have gone by and how it's been more
Oh.
globally recognized.
Big Bang.
And then Shini, as far as I know, only mainly likes Stray Kids, and that's it.
That's all I have. Well, I mean, I like
I-
XG on the side just a little bit.
XG's not a K-pop group.
What are they then?
They are technically an international girl group because they don't sing in Korean and they don't promote over there all the time.
No,
and
for
they're
fuck's
all
sake, so-
Japanese. But yeah. Anyways,
Ugh.
I'm probably the most versed, kind of. Not really.
You
I
are.
mean,
You are.
if anything, I feel like
Definitely
Yoshi.
more versed in girl
no,
groups.
because you like boy groups and girl groups, and I like girl groups and some boy groups.
Well, yeah, but I'd probably say
like
I'm
17?
75 to like 25.
You're 75.
Yes,
What?
I'm 75 years old.
I knew it.
Are talking about how old Hide is.
Wow. Okay. Damn.
Whoa.
Damn.
Why are you roasting
Shots
Hide?
fired. What's going on?
Because I get the chance to roast Hide. Why wouldn't I?
Okay.
Eh,
It's a miracle Sarah even woke up, Mikey. Let's be real.
It's true.
You never
I had
know.
work today, so that was a part of it.
Okay, so she got home, slept, got a cheese curd. She stole a cheese
No,
curd.
I haven't
curd.
taken a nap today.
That's surprising. That means she's gonna fall
I
asleep
haven't had
mid-episode.
time.
Groceries. We were preparing for the storm.
I got
you know?
gas. I got gas. I got my groceries, and then
Curd?
I got food.
I mean, you could always just
And then I
walk
helped
over
set
here.
up the
Oh.
TV.
All right.
That was nice.
When is this storm even supposed to actually hit? Is it just supposed to be like
It's
tomorrow?
not hitting us directly. It's
Well,
not
no,
hitting us
but like
directly.
the the
Well,
stuff.
Tonight, isn't it? Like, I mean, we've been getting rain here all day.
Is it
I'm
like
not
a
sure how
big
was
tropical
Oh, boy.
storm, or is it just a regular storm?
It's
a
pretty
tropical
big.
storm.
Anyways, K-pop.
Tropical storm.
Okay, so I would say probably me and Yoshi, maybe more me, just because I feel like I keep up with it a bit more often right now. But
Yeah.
We
even
are
then,
ordered. We are ordered in knowledge and just
Mm.
quiz.
I don't know.
Yoshi,
I feel
Shini.
like, well,
Well,
I don't know. I
question.
don't know necessarily where Faye lies because she's been
does
there, but she's
anybody
not been there.
like BTS in this group? Like, honestly,
I think, yeah.
What? BTS?
What?
I'll take that as a yes.
I'm confused.
What happened?
BTS is fine. I definitely went through a phase where I liked BTS a lot more. They're kind of just there, you know?
Yeah, as someone that has known them adjacently through Yoshi, and my mother, I can say for sure that their past stuff is very different from what they release nowadays,
It is.
Ah,
and I feel like that's a big point
Very
of
big
contention
change.
for some people. But yeah, BTS, they technically, I would say, are probably the main people that sparked the more commercialization in the West of K-pop.
yeah.
You seem
Probably,
unsure.
yeah.
Well, no, yeah, you're right, because I was thinking of Psy, because Psy was kind of the one that kind of
I would say he was the one that
made
definitely
more of an
made it
impact.
more looked at
Consumable? Yeah.
in the
Okay.
first starting bit, because obviously,
Gotcha.
like if you ask anyone Gangnam Style, they're gonna be like, "Oh yeah, that video of the weird guy." Like they're gonna know what it is. I don't
Uh-huh.
know necessarily if they're gonna know it's K-pop, but they're gonna know what it is at least. But in terms of like, because I feel like originally, and by back in the day, I don't mean like in the 90s. I just mean like maybe early 2000s to 2010s. K-pop was definitely more. It was the same as like if you were to say you liked anime in high school,
Yeah.
where like
agree.
it was more of a niche kind of thing where people
Yeah, I
might
was
have
gonna
looked at
say.
you weird. And I feel like they're the ones that kind of made it more mainstream
I
almost.
was gonna say, so now K-pop is officially like mainstream nowadays.
I think so.
I feel like it's more mainstream. Like I know more people. I come into more. I come across more people who listen to K-pop casually.
Yeah.
They might not know anything about like the artists or whatnot, but they listen more so to K-pop casually. Then.
True.
If it comes on, I'm not gonna like actively skip it. Like I'm not gonna be like, ew,
Jay no hater.
No,
Gonna
I'm
take
but-
a listen to it.
but I'll listen to it. I might be like, oh, that's a fun song, and then just
Never
Go about my
listen to
never
it again.
Remember the
yeah.
I
Like,
don't
I was
actively go
scrolling-
searching for it, but
Yeah, I was
I'll
scrolling
listen to it if
through-
Quiz sends it to me.
Wow.
Yeah, I was scrolling through Instagram and there was like a Red Velvet song that was on a post, and I was like, oh, this is a fun song, and I just kept scrolling.
And then she moved on.
Oh, I love it. That's K-pop.
That's just how she goes. You
I
know?
only knew it was K-pop because I know Quiz likes Red Velvet.
I don't even know if it's necessarily that Sarah's not interested or more over the fact that like she already has a lot of things that she's interested in. It might be seen as like, why do I need another thing to get into?
Yeah, no, Mikey, we're just not into the same stuff. Like I'm into stuff, and so is Quiz, but we're not. Our interests don't overlap as much as you think they do.
Yeah, I hate musicals.
Oh, really?
It's okay. I love them.
That's what I'm saying. That corner over there on the left side, that's your musical corner. Shini's in the middle where she's like, I could take a good musical, and I'm over here with Jeff saying I hate it.
Yoshi,
fair point.
Like musicals.
yeah, about a month ago, Yoshi was obsessed with The Greatest Showman again. So
I'm
Oh,
not
dear
Hey, that's
God.
a great movie.
Watched
You won't
it.
lie.
Watched that. We watched La La Land.
You
Never
watched
seen
La
that
La
before.
Land?
Yes.
Oh, I really want to watch that.
Dude, I cried, but I cry easily.
Okay, K-pop.
Well,
So
We keep going on to different
it's not a
music genres.
music area.
something. Okay, I want to ask something.
Let's
What?
go. No, go ahead.
No, what?
What would you say? What's your favorite groups? If you had to pick like top three groups.
Top 3. Okay, I know one of them. I don't know who the others would be.
Oh, Luna, right?
No, Luna's not together anymore.
Wow.
Luna's not together
in
anymore.
your hearts.
I liked Luna's concept, if that was any indication by the other stream I did.
really,
I thought it was very interesting, and it was definitely different for the K-pop scene. But I still think overall, like my favorite group is probably the main group that got me into K-pop, which is Red Velvet. Just because I feel like they have a very weird discography, and that's what makes it really cool. Plus, I think SM groups... Okay, here, I'll touch on this. Because I know Sarah won't know anything about this. Shini might know some, and I don't know about Faye. But, so, in the K-pop scene, there are... Obviously, every group is under, like, an agency that manages them and everything. And there's, like, the big 3/4 now, I guess. And that's referring to like the big companies that are managing them that have like the most popular groups out, kind of, because there's like thousands of these agencies, but like the big ones are the ones that have groups like BTS or like Twice and all that stuff. So basically, under the big 3/4, because I guess you could count HYBE since they're technically the people that manage a bunch of different other ones, including BTS, but there's one called SM, which is the people that manage Red Velvet, and they're known for having very experimental songs, kind of. And I think Red Velvet, because of that, like they also used to have a girl group called FX, which had very electronic experimental music, but was still had like a very dedicated fan base. But then they also have newer groups like aespa, which are kind of teetering on the popular experimental verge, because they have things like Savage, which is leaning more hyperpop genre, and then they have things like Armageddon, which is more 90s rap focused. But yeah, I'm an SM stan, not because I like SM the company. I don't think anyone likes the companies that these people are under because they're notorious for being bad. But
Cute.
we're not going to talk about Cube. Cube has different issues. Cube can't manage anyone, and they have problems. But yeah.
I remember, and this is just a very distinct memory of Kester and Corey talking about this, that a lot of the older music videos for Super Junior and other groups at that time would always share similar sets. So you'd always see the same chair or something in every music video.
They would share
There's like a
props, they would share
car.
sets.
There's a car that's like passed around and like repainted and in so many different videos.
Because back in that day,
Too.
Hey, that's saving money.
well, that's the thing. Back in that day, literally, it was known as like the box sets because they would just film in a room and do like dances and stuff. And that would be the music video. But because of that, they would just rent out from the same companies like all of these props and stuff. So you'd see it in multiple different music videos. Because it was cheaper.
Like it was a game to like spot the chair.
They reuse a lot of like locational sets now too.
I feel like that's
the one that
now,
comes to mind really is
that
the one
circular
from
place.
Stray Kids Elevator. I use Love Wins. I'm
all.
trying to think. Love Wins All. I'm trying to think who else. The Rose. Before that drama, She's in the Rain was done there. There's more people, but I can't think of any.
Well, also,
Big Jin was there too. Like,
I'm trying to think. There's that one. Okay, I can think of four maybe major ones of basically like location-based sets that not only really popular groups use, but also a lot of new groups use. And so you'll end up seeing the same stuff in a bunch of videos. And one is like, a lot of them are abandoned places, including like a giant abandoned circular building. One is like this hotel that is like defunct, but they still rent it out for people to film music videos in.
is that the one that has like the staircases?
The
Like
one
red
with like the
staircases?
chandeliers and everything that 17 did one and everything. And then there's this diner that I specifically know so many different people have rented out. It's like an American style diner, but it's in Korea for some reason. And so many people do that. And then there's an abandoned theme park, which people rent out and specifically film in front of the carousel and everything because they can turn the lights on and all the power on. And then there's one more. What is it? Oh, I know. Okay, so if they film in Korea, they don't have deserts there. But if there is a desert, quote unquote, concept to the music video and everything, they will film in this one designated area, which is like a giant construction site that just has a bunch of like sand and dirt mounds, but that is what they use for their desert. And everyone uses it.
Honestly, I think that's kind of creative.
That's the thing though. It's like, it's the same with normal music in the sense of like, it goes through trends and stuff. And so if there was a point, I don't remember what year it was, Yoshi, but the point where they were doing like, what was it? It was like, it was before the Y2K stuff. But all the boy groups were doing it, like Lo Siento and everything.
Oh, like the Spanish influence.
Yeah, it was basically, there's a specific point in time where there was a lot of Spanish influenced songs coming out in K-pop, and they were all filming in the same places.
Oh yeah, like that tiny little town.
Yes. They had all these weird sets for it too, and they would always for some reason make it thematic, like you're either somewhere in a desert or like you're just somewhere hot, or like it had the filter of like NCIS Miami where it looked orange. And that was like a lot of boy groups were releasing those kinds of songs for some reason. It was mainly boy groups that I remember.
Was it during the Despacito era?
I think it was following. I feel like
followed it, and that might be why, honestly. I don't know.
Despacito was really, really big.
Yeah.
I feel like K-pop is always like a little bit farther behind like trends. Like the Y2K stuff, the more electronic kind of stuff.
But then
that
when they get their grubby
popular
little
now.
paws on something, they won't let it
You
go.
don't let it go.
Because I remember specifically after the entire Spanish style music, it went on to 80s, 90s. No, 80s specifically. It wasn't 90s. It went on to 80s, a bit of 70s, but mainly 80s, where everything sounded like it was supposed to be an 80s remake song.
Like
that.
Sanmi's, por la pipam. Yeah.
Kind
That's what
of. I think also of like Rocket Punch, Ring My Bell, Everglow, La Di Da, all that stuff that was like made to be like a
Yeah.
synth poppy song. And then after they finally ditched that, but they would not ditch that for a long time. I don't know if that's when they went to Y2K, but there was definitely a bit of a gap. And then after that, I think we're moving into the drum and bass era, where I'm tired of hearing every song be a drum and bass song.
Oh. That was like every K-pop song is like right about now?
Well, it's between drum and bass and like simple, easy listening music. That's what it is. Think New Jeans songs.
Oh, they are very easy listening songs.
But yeah, so. But the weird thing is, okay, here's what I found. Specifically with stuff that's going on recently, it went from like New Jeans being what is it? It was like at first it was the easy listening stuff, which I don't mind. I like a decent amount of New Jeans songs and or other groups that have done similar vibes to it. But the thing is, not only because New Jeans is like under hype and they're like really popular, but anytime someone does something similar to them, they specifically think that they're copying New Jeans.
them?
And in some cases that makes sense, because like if you not only copy the song sound like sonically, but also the general vibe of their videos, then I would say you're trying to like ride a trend. But
Honestly, I was terrified of how quickly in popularity they grew out of nowhere, it seemed.
Yeah.
To me, anyways.
well, that's the thing. Okay, that's what me and Yoshi had even been talking about recently in relation to like what defines the gens in K-pop, because we do not understand why the gens are that way. Because there's like first gen, second gen, third gen. Are we on fourth or fifth gen?
I thought, are we on 5th?
I think some people are saying 5th gen, but I don't know where the line between 4th and 5th ends.
I don't know where the lines are
Like-
at all. Like literally they just
know there
throw
were
the groups
lines.
in.
Look,
It's gens
all I know
like-
is that Stray
okay,
Kids
so
is
gens
4th
are the
gen.
group.
That's it.
Gens
Yeah.
are like the eras of K-pop groups at the time.
Like Super Junior. Super Junior is technically considered Gen 1 or Gen 2? I'm always kind of fuzzy on
Is
this.
Gen 1 supposed to be like early K-pop as in like JYP?
He did
supposed to be
say
like
Gen 2.
Because
so.
I think Gen 1 is like literally when mainstream K-pop was happening
Like
in
the-
Korea.
So Psy is part of Gen 1? I don't
No,
think
no,
Psy
no,
was-
no,
don't
no.
think so.
No,
He's
no, no.
three.
Psy
Really?
comes later.
Yeah, he's
Psy could
Like
be
the-
anywhere from 2 to
Wow.
3.
What's that one?
Psy is Gen 2? Oh, okay.
Taji Boys? That one? was,
Taji
like,
Boys.
Super old. What's that other one? You know, who sings that one? It's Candy. Who sings Candy?
I don't
Whatever.
remember.
Unimportant. But I think
And
I don't know,
then
it's one of those songs that you keep singing over and over and over again because all the other groups are like, oh my gosh, it's a classic song, let's cover it. No.
but then Gen 2 would be like Super Junior,
Big Bang?
Psy. I think Big Bang's closer. Big Bang might be latter Gen 2.
Where Girls' Generation?
Girls' Generation for sure, but that's just because they came out earlier.
21?
21
No.
would be with Big Bang.
20.
Oh, they would? Okay.
Yeah, would be Big Bang. They were in the same.
I remember the Lollipop collab.
Lollipop.
Okay,
Yep.
do you want to hear a story from me and Yoshi's childhood? It has to do with
Go on.
K-pop. This is basically our introduction to K-pop without knowing it was our introduction to K-pop. There was this song that Big Bang did in collaboration with 21, which I feel like is much more feasible because they're under the same company. And it was for an ad for a phone called the Lollipop Phone by LG.
I know exactly. I thought it was a laptop.
No, it's a phone.
The flip phone.
But yeah,
And
no, I know exactly what it is because I can hear it in my brain now.
I don't even remember. I know that Yoshi was the first one to find it, but I don't even remember how she found it. It was probably just random.
No. Let's be real. That was a different time. I was watching like the AMV videos.
Oh, yes. Oh, wait. Was that how you found it? Was it through an AMV and then you looked up the song?
Yeah, I heard the song and I was like, well, this is interesting. So I looked up the video. And so around that same time, I was also introduced to K-pop because I was a hardcore Jonas Brothers fan at the time when I was a wee little baby. And we went and saw the Jonas Brothers on tour, and by we, I mean me and my mother. And the Jonas Brothers went on this huge stadium tour, not stadium, but like pretty big, and they had the Wonder Girls opening for them. Like one of the people that was opening. So they were like teaching so they were like teaching the crowd how to do the I want nobody but you one. So yeah.
They don't know what you're talking about, but I'm aware.
You're aware. They don't know what Wonder Girls is.
But yeah, they technically, because they saw a K-pop act before they even knew what was going on. And now
Maybe I'm
both her and
thinking
her
of
mom.
something else.
Well, what are you thinking of?
I think I am thinking of the one that had laptops instead. It was like a Dell commercial.
That Mac thing or whatever. It's like lollipop.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
No, that is not a K-pop song.
Well,
I got you.
I wouldn't know.
Oh my gosh.
I know which one you're talking about there.
Isn't that like a song by the Chordettes, the same people who do Mr. Sandman from like the
I think
70s or
so.
60s?
So,
It was
yeah.
the 60s.
Okay, anyways, but yeah.
Sorry.
And so then I guess if that was Yoshi's first introduction through Wonder Girls, she then did the lollipop thing and introduced me to it. And then I'm pretty sure you showed Ronan it, but that was a separate thing. But yeah.
The Ronan name drop.
Oh my gosh, thank you, Kingpin. But yeah, it was crazy. And so and I remember, oh my gosh, when we would like go swimming in the pool, because we have a pool. When we would go swimming in the pool, we would pretend like we were singing along to that song and performing before we would jump in. We did a lot of weird things at the pool. That's just one of many.
That's a Florida thing.
Yeah,
so like...
probably.
But Floridian thing, I see.
But yeah, so it was crazy. And so technically, I guess, because those were some of the bigger names, obviously, they were under the big three. And because they were both under YG at the time, before, you know, things happened. But yeah, YG also doesn't have a good track record. No one really has a good track record company-wise. But I would say YG is kind of very, very bad.
Yeah.
Like the worst out of all of them, or just...
In terms
Cube's
of
pretty
like,
bad.
well, no, in terms of big three management, I think YG is the worst. Because of how many groups they've had under, wasn't Icon under YG?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He didn't saying SM is the worst.
SM is bad in a different context. SM is bad at managing, but specifically they're older groups that they're like, I don't want to play with you anymore. YG, I feel like, does not know how to manage talent in the sense of they're the same people that had 21 to Spam. They're the same people that have had all of the issues go on with Icon. They're the same people that had everything that happened with Blackpink. So yeah.
Oh yeah, I kind of forgot. I kind of forgot that they were a group.
Exactly.
Winner, yeah.
Oh yes, Winner. And then JYP, granted, I hate JYP the man, because he creeps me out.
Well,
He's freaky.
he's a character.
I
That's
just
all
think
can
of
say.
that award show where Hwasa sat on
Yeah.
his lap during a
And then they
performance.
showed Jackson's
Jackson
face.
is in
Oh, boy.
Jackson Wings in the audience, like horrified. Like,
I would be with Jackson honestly. 'cause that was-
Basically, I mean, okay,
Ooh.
JYP Entertainment is managed by a guy named JYP. Essentially,
What a surprise.
he would technically be considered Gen 1, I think, because he was originally like a singer and everything, and he performed and everything.
Yeah.
And he started his own company.
Gotta get that group back.
Don't.
Just stupid
You're gonna summon him, Shini. I don't want that to come here. But he is the epitome of someone who doesn't know when to hang it up. Like, he keeps on performing places and doing
He is
things.
a very cringy person. Like, it's hard to watch him when he does stuff.
And I watched many a shows that he hosts because it's like for talent for groups and stuff, and it's just watching him do stuff and talk is so odd. But that brings me to a lovely segue of the amount of groups that are formed on shows.
Oh yeah.
It's crazy. Like, Twice is considered one of the biggest groups for Korea specifically. Like, they're technically Korea's girl group, and they were formed on a show called 16, where literally there's people that were eliminated and all that stuff. And I'm pretty sure, I think it's become more and more of a thing. Even wasn't Big Bang on a show too?
You know, I don't even really know. I was never really into watching shows like that. The only show that I think I ended up watching, like, in most of its entirety, just because being interested in the group, was Stray Kids. I ended up watching like their whole thing.
JYP loves a survival show.
He does. I never watched the survival show for Stray Kids though. I saw clips of it, many. But after seeing so many of them cry, I was just like, oh
yeah,
watch this.
that's the other thing. On those shows, the amount of times that you will see all of the people like break down is so awful. Because they're put through crazy circumstances to like do all of these evaluations. It's so crazy. Because I watched a couple, and some of them were just around like the different groups that JYP has made because he loves the survival show. And it was a bunch of different girl groups and stuff. And I don't know. It's just, I don't like that entire mentality of like, we need to break you essentially to like see that you're worthy of being a part of this group.
He just said 21 also had their own show, and the CEO constantly called them the ugliest group in Korea.
That's not surprising.
Wow.
Suman is kind of like an awful person. But
What the fuck?
he's known for being an awful person. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Like the
He
CEO of YG.
He's an awful person.
And then there's, of course, the fun stuff involving Hybe, in which they basically have bought a bunch of smaller groups. Well, no, smaller agencies, which then have these smaller groups. And so technically, even if they're like under a certain agency, they're under the overarching corpo of Hybe.
Yeah.
Bye, Mikey. But yeah.
Bye, Mikey.
Mm,
And originally, wasn't it started by PD Bang, Hybe? So yeah, it was literally started by the same guy that made BTS, and then from then on it grew, and then there's all this stuff going on with New Jeans right now in Adore.
Yeah.
And
A door?
okay, so
Like a hinge
no,
door?
no, ADOR, no E, but it's their agency's name.
Oh.
oh no.
Is
God,
it?
weren't they a recent group? Wait a minute.
Is it Min Jihin or Min Heejin? Min Heejin? Hide would know. But basically,
knows everything.
I don't know all of the extent of it.
100%
I
his
know
favorite group,
only what
New Jeans.
has been like shared through other people. But basically, all of this stuff with New Jeans is essentially, there's a creative director that left SM to work on New Jeans under Adore, their company. And she
He didn't go under an actual door.
she was the creative director behind it, like actually making the aesthetic and everything of the group and how it would proceed and stuff. And she wanted to sue Hybe, I'm pretty sure, because Hybe and Islet, which is a newer group, because she thought that they were copying the group specifically. Islet was copying New Jeans, and Islet is by B-Lift, who is also under Hybe, and so she thought there was like some kind of sabotage thing. But then it got really messy to the point where she was sharing texts about how she was getting texts from like the CEO of Hybe saying crush Aespa with your new group, and Aespa is like a big contender for the younger audiences from SM. And so there's a lot that happened, and it's still ongoing. There's still drama about it, and I don't know it, and honestly there's so much about it that I don't care to know about it. But yeah, so it's crazy. And the worst part about it is New Jeans themselves is full of like really, really young members. And so that, on top of the fact that they're also getting like mixed signals of like hate and also support from all these opinions, because that's another thing in K-pop. Everything can be and will be scrutinized through the public eye.
Especially fans.
Like,
Jesus.
Everything is on the table for them to say you need to apologize right now. Like, there are so many things that happen, and there's so many controversies for things that you wouldn't think are a controversy, but let me tell you, it's a different world over there. I would say it's the Wild West, but it's the opposite. It's the Wild East. Like, I don't understand.
It's so annoying. I hate that so much, because I can remember one specific thing that Bangchan, leader of Stray Kids, he had to apologize for something that he said on his live, and he didn't say any names, he wasn't pointing out anybody, but he was just saying that, you know, if you respect me, I will respect you. If you don't, I won't. It's very simple, but he had to make a fucking apology about that, apparently, because he somehow offended someone. And of course, you know, the Stay community was mad because we were just like, why the fuck does he have to apologize if somebody's being rude to him somewhere?
Also, people love taking things out of context and saying, oh, this must be about this idol. Like, they
That's
love
true.
pitting it against
they
people.
were trying to speculate like which group was disrespecting them or something like that, and I'm just like, we don't know, because he didn't name it. And there's sometimes when Chan even has to like go on Bubble or wherever and be like, okay, calm down the torches and pitchforks, like, don't go for anybody, please. Like, please be humble.
And that's another thing, specifically with K-pop in general. There's a big honorific system within not just K-pop, like it's Korea too, but specifically within K-pop, of like how you're supposed to act with your older groups and all of the people that have like come before you versus people that have come after you, and like how you're supposed to interact with them and what you're supposed to do. And
when are we gonna mention the K-pop fans? How unhinged they can be.
Well, I feel like that's a given. I feel like it's only natural to know that if you've ever been on Twitter, even accidentally, that a K-pop fan is deranged. Like,
Never cross a K-pop fan.
Never get on their bad side, honestly, or disrespect their idols.
I remember with one, so like just on the topic of this, I remember with Suju, one of the members got into like a bar fight, and they sent him away to do his 2 years of the army, like right then and there.
yeah.
I was like, oh.
They were like, let's let them go, forget about this. Go.
Right? It's like, you dishonor us, you must go to the army.
See, that's something I really don't like about K-pop, is all the drama having to do with that. You have all these people that end up like they have to issue apologies because Korea's mad about XYZ or international. It depends on what specifically happened. Like, I'm trying to think of an example. Like Wonho, who was in Monsta X,
yes.
third gen group. He had to leave because there was some kind of scandal with some girl about him not paying rent or something. I could be remembering it wrong. It's been years. But he ended up leaving the group because he didn't want it to affect the group in a negative light. like there's so many groups that it's like, oh well, they debuted with this many members, but now they have this many members because so and so had to leave because of a scandal. So that really frustrates me because that always seems to happen. Like I can name tons of groups that don't have the same amount of people because XYZ scandal.
Yeah. Yoshi's favorite was the one that left.
It was.
Oh, you liked Woojin?
I felt like nobody liked him, and then that whole thing was like so weird because nobody was talking about it, and then you have like nobody was talking about why it happened, and then they're like, oh well, it's because of this thing, and then that ended up being
a lot of speculations
wrong.
about like he supposedly hit on a girl, because and y'all know, of course, they're not allowed to date when they're under contracts.
Not publicly.
Companies. not publicly or whatever, but they're.
And when they find out, they're gonna roast you too.
Yeah.
So.
That's why you gotta be secret.
But it was something about like he was talking or sexually harassing like this woman at a restaurant or something like that.
Yes.
And
that is what I heard too. Like months later. Yeah, it turned out to not be true, and then people were saying stuff about how like they didn't like him, and like the other members of Stray Kids didn't like him. I remember seeing this video that some stay put together about like, see, everyone was afraid of Woojin and he beat them, and I was like, whoa.
Yeah, that tends to happen.
No, he was a sweetheart. Actually, he was like one of the.
He was so
sweet one.
Yeah, they like just took all these random
Lena is the one that you gotta be fucking afraid of.
And then, oh my gosh, there was the whole thing under Cube, funnily enough, with Dawn and Hyuna. When they got together, and they were both under the same company, and they were both idols, and they did music, and they got together publicly. And Cube kicked him out of the group of Pentagon.
Yes.
And then everyone also blamed Hyuna, saying, you shouldn't have done anything, you got him kicked out of his group. And it was a whole thing.
There was no right. Like, why? Because Pentagon, like, that was around the time that Pentagon was starting to have, like, they had that, like, I say one-hit wonder, but, like, the really well-known song, Shine. That was, I think, 2018? I think that was the same year that Love Scenario came out by iKON, which was, Korea's favorite song.
Unofficially, everyone was singing it.
But that was sad. I'm trying to think who else.
The funny thing, okay, I have a continuation of that drama. They got together. They were together for a decent amount of time. They even did like songs together because they were under their own agencies at that point. And they got, I think it was they got engaged.
Yes.
And then they broke up.
Oh no.
And then
Is she married to someone else now?
Then Hyuna moved on, and she's with a guy. I don't remember if he's an idol in the sense of like music or if he's an actor, but he was involved in the Burning Sun scandal stuff.
Oh.
And so
which is what?
Basically, okay, an abridged TLDR of the Burning Sun stuff is there was this club called, I'm pretty sure, the Burning Sun, and it was known. Well, I say it was known, obviously not publicly, but it was known for like sex trafficking stuff, and it was known for like recording girls specifically and having that footage passed around in like these group chats related to the Burning Sun that had a bunch of not only actors but also idols, including people from like Big Bang and stuff, like Sunni, like all that stuff.
Oh shit.
Was it CN Blue? Big Bang CN Blue?
I don't remember all the detail. I just remember there were a lot, and politicians too. There was a lot of people, all men, because it was specifically focused on females. And so that happened a decent while ago, because that had to have been like in the 2010s, somewhere in there. Like 17 or 18 maybe. Well, no, it could have been 16 or 17, honestly. I don't remember. Probably somewhere in that area. But basically, she is now engaged and possibly getting married to a guy that was involved in the Burning Sun scandals, and everyone hates that, obviously.
Fair point.
And a lot of people are bringing up the fact that she basically didn't want to get married with Dawn because she didn't think she wanted to get married ever, but then she went and she got engaged and is getting married with this new guy. And so people are like upset about that.
I think the guy that she is getting married to now was in Highlight, formerly known as Beast. Thank you, Cube.
It's always Cube that messes things up. Because they also messed up G-Idol. Because they had Sujin, who had an entire... Because that's another thing about specifically Korea. They take bullying stuff very seriously. So, like, if you are told to be a bully by just some random anonymous account on Twitter, they will take that at face value. And they will say, this is an accusation that must be true. It's very much guilty until proven innocent rather than innocent until proven guilty, where people will take what someone says, even if it's someone that has not been proven to be credible or someone with a face behind the name, and
They'll
they will
just be
believe
like,
it.
Person A says that so-and-so bullied in high school, and here's what happened.
And that
they
happened
just
to a
take
girl in G-Idol, and she got kicked out of the group. Thank you, Cube. And then it was proven to not be true, and she never got back in the group.
Yeah.
Damn.
I mean, that girl got kicked out of La Seraphim, like, right after their debut.
Oh, they knew. They knew that was gonna come up because they had already trained the girls to perform with only that many members.
That's
Oh
crazy.
damn! Wait, they set her up for failure.
Literally,
It was
okay. So La Seraphim debuted. They had, I think it was 6 members, and they reduced to 5, if I'm remembering correctly. And the 6th member was like in the music video and everything. They had their debut. They did like, I want to say 1 or 2 KBS shows where they basically just do a performance of like the choreography and they sing and everything. And a scandal started where they're targeting this one girl from La Seraphim, saying that she was a bully in high school and that she was a terrible person and all these accusations. And they immediately plucked her out of the group. And the next time that La Seraphim appeared on stage, they were in a perfect formation of just 5 members. And everyone's saying they knew this was gonna come out and they were prepared for it.
Damn, they had a backup plan for her.
But yeah.
I don't know. It's just, it's sad.
It's the
But all this
amount
stuff
that
happens.
happens is
Also,
And then
same thing happened to
crazy.
kids.
It's all about like reputation, and like somebody could just say something and then it brings you down, and then you have to suffer the consequences even when it's not true and they're investigating. And then even when it's proven to not be true, the damage is already done, and in the mind of the people, you're guilty. So
Yeah.
it's messed up. Super
That's what
toxic.
happened to
Don't like that.
Hyunjin, I think.
Hyunjin, they didn't kick Hyunjin out though. That was
No,
one
but
of
he
the
was-
It's
few
because they already
cases.
kicked a member out,
He
so
was-
they're like, we can't lose another one.
But they did. He was on hiatus
bullying,
for a while
yeah.
though because of that.
They said he was. Yeah, they said he was
so he wasn't
bullying.
able to participate in Kingdom because of it, and a lot of fans were upset about that.
Kingdom was good.
And this is why
Yeah.
I personally, first of all, I would never say I'm a stan of any group because I don't think I'm that crazy about the groups in the sense of like knowing every detail about the individual members. Because like, at least with Luna, I really liked their concept and everything, and I liked the fact that their group was like a specific, unique thing, but I wasn't out there being like, I know what each one of them's actual favorite food is, their birthday, and where they were born. Like, that's what actual fans are like.
I know their sign. I know their
blood type, their
big
MBTI.
number. Yeah.
Ooh, you know what? I just made myself a fan because I put enough effort into knowing about each individual of them. I spent my time to learn about them.
That's
So
the
I'm
thing.
just like, you know what? I'm gonna stay. That's it.
I will learn the names of the members because I obviously want to be able to differentiate everyone and be able to know like who's singing or something. And then I will follow their comebacks if I like their songs and everything. But other than that, I'm not that invested. Like, I'll watch them on certain programs and shows if like I think their personalities are fun, but I never that crazy invested in a group. I like them for the music and like obviously the videos and stuff, because I feel like that's also a very integral part of K-pop. Like the entire concept stuff around it.
Concerts that you'd go to? Like any artists that you'd care to go to see in concert?
That's the thing. Remember how I told you one of the subgroups, Artemis, that broke off of Luna, was touring in the US, and they had a couple of things in Florida, but they were all sold out by the time I looked at them.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. Honestly, sometimes it's
it's crazy how fast they sell out.
You have to like be aware that it's happening like before it happens.
I'm never aware. That's the thing. I don't stay up to date with all this information. I'm always surprised when certain groups have comebacks. I'm like, I didn't know anything about this because I don't follow them on Instagram or anything. Yeah. And so I'll just learn about it through something else.
Unless they're like not that popular of a group, which sounds really bad. The last K-pop group that I saw, my friend that I work with, she was like, oh my gosh, they're gonna be back in town, because I had taken her the last time they were in town, and she was like, oh my gosh, they're gonna be in town, we should go. And like tickets had been on sale for like a month or two already, and there were still seats, so we were able to get seats and we went.
Yeah.
But I didn't know about it. She's the one who initiated that, because again, somebody was forced to leave that group, and I stopped really, like I felt bad because I'm like, I still want to support them, but also at the same time, like it's sad. Like
I don't. Oneness, yeah.
Yeah. So.
I mean, I think one of the main reasons, especially for Artemis, is because they were a subsect that came off of Luna. That automatically got them more attention, because a lot of people were upset that Luna disbanded, and they were just upset with the company. I mean, they weren't upset that Luna disbanded when they learned about all the details, but they were upset that it had to come to that. And so they had a lot of fans follow them to like their own projects and stuff. But yeah. And I think I would love to go to a Red Velvet concert, but that's even crazier to get tickets for. And the only place I'd be able to get it is probably up in Atlanta, because I don't think they come to Florida.
Nobody comes to Florida.
Well,
that's why I'm so surprised.
Spend the night if you need it.
No boy.
Nobody.
You want to go to a Red Velvet concert? Name a Red Velvet song.
Wait. Perfume?
What?
Nope, that's a different. That is a different
That
group.
is a Japanese group.
Oh wait, no.
Can you name a member in Red Velvet?
No, fuck no, bitch. I can't.
Well.
I think I've heard one song from them because I played one on Osu, I think.
What did it sound like? I literally sent you Russian Roulette to play.
Oh. I don't remember what that sounds like. I'm being honest.
There you go.
I'm sorry. But if you want me to, I will try my best to listen to the set list.
I could always force Sarah to come, because she's already gone with Yoshi.
Yeah.
From the one song I heard, I would probably enjoy their music.
I don't even know what song you heard. You don't even know what song you heard.
I don't even know.
And they have a lot of songs. Oh my gosh, that's something. Okay, something that's been happening a lot. Granted, it's not that it just started happening, but it's been happening very frequently, is that they'll say K-pop groups love coming out with EPs, but not actual EPs, like 3 or 4 songs, and or singles. That is what they like coming out with. And the length of the songs keep getting shorter as the years go on, because the younger generation apparently loves short songs with no bridges or anything.
It's because
like
it's better
barely 2 minutes.
It's because it's better.
It's like for TikTok.
Yeah, it's better for social media.
And so
just take part of the song. That's what I don't understand.
It's been annoying, because I feel like a lot of the groups, that's one of the only things that I can typically look forward to with like Red Velvet stuff, because if they release an album, they're going to release an album. But even then, aespa only just released their first album a couple months ago, and they've been debuted for a decent, like at least 2 years now, 2.5 something, and they've just been releasing EPs.
I think it gets crazy though. I remember seeing something with Pentagon about like, they're like, this is our 13th mini album.
Yeah, it's the mini albums. Oh my lord. Yeah. The amount of mini albums.
Is that? There's always so many mini albums that they have, I swear.
Okay, we cannot do this long.
I feel like I'm trying to think. J Kids. I'm trying to think of groups that like have like full albums. That was something that I did like about
Stray Kids
BTS.
has a lot of shit. I won't lie. Their discography is terrifying to people because they have a lot of shit. They just did another comeback last month.
The one, the Wolverine Deadpool one.
No, Chick Chick Boom is not in Wolverine Deadpool. It's actually Slash. That's the one that's in Deadpool. But they do have Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman in the music video for
Yeah, I saw the
Boom.
I saw Chick Chick Boom. I did not like it as much. Unpopular opinion, I guess. I did not like that one as much. I mean, it's so good, but like
I don't blame
liked
you. I like
S-Class.
La La.
I liked S-Class and La La and yeah.
I feel like
All
Stray
those.
Kids has a very distinct sound though, where a lot of their title tracks
does.
sound very much like Stray Kids.
I feel like that can be said with a lot of groups. Like I feel like I can identify NCT. I feel like a lot of people try to
Anyone can
emulate
identify NCT. You have demonic chanting in the background.
What?
Literally every NCT song, whether it's a subunit or not, they have all of the guys chanting something in the song. That's how you know. That's just how you know. It's how you know.
Jeez.
That's how you know.
But
I feel
yeah.
like 18 is pretty distinct. Stray Kids is pretty distinct.
They are they make
Um,
their own music, so
That's true.
can't really blame them on that.
J-Idol's getting
probably
weird.
G-Idol.
That's okay, that's the thing. G-Idol is a very special, very rare case in the sense of literally one of the girls is basically the main producer and writer of a bunch of their music, if not all of their music right now. And that is very unseen in the industry because typically there is a bunch of producers and writers and stuff from the company that like make all the songs for them. There's other cases obviously, but the thing is she writes all of the songs and stuff, so obviously it's going to be more in line with like I'll write what I want, because typically they'll still have success because they have a very good fan base. But then the songs are weird. Like they went from Super Lady to Klaxon, and I don't know what that means. Like Super Lady was very 21-esque. It reminded a lot of people of that, both in the music video and the sound. It was very like dancey, anthemish. And then they went to like this weird summer song that's talking about honking a horn, and like it makes no sense. And you know what, I think that Soyeon's happy with that, but it's still confusing.
I don't even remember Super Lady like that. When you said that, I was thinking Queen Card and Nude and...
Those are other
there are
songs
other
that she wrote. Like,
I know.
and listen,
But-
Queen Card's iconic "My Boob and
Wait,
Booty's
yeah,
Hot"
that
will
was
be
the one who
great.
did Queen Card?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I don't know why I thought it was Blackpink.
No.
No.
Blackpink doesn't do anything anymore. They've retired.
Have they?
I mean, Lisa released a thing under her company recently for just her.
Aren't they all with like
She's
different
gotten a lot
companies
of
now,
backlash
but they're
about
still
a lot of
Blackpink?
shit, so
They are all under different company. Specifically, I think they're all under their own companies, if I recall correctly.
Yeah.
Like their own. They made the companies. They're under their own companies.
I find it interesting. A lot of companies have been allowing that, where like the group, they're like, oh, well, the group's still gonna continue, but like they're not gonna be with us anymore, but they'll still do stuff. But then like not really.
That's
like,
kind of what happened with Mamamoo. Because Mamamoo,
Yeah,
technically,
we
they
have-
aren't fully together, but they are supposedly still together every now and then.
Yeah, but I haven't actually seen them release something.
No.
Didn't we sign with a different company?
Pretty sure.
Everyone else stayed, I'm pretty sure.
It's weird. Also, the contract system, there's a lot of slave contracts.
What?
I know that.
what?
That's what they're called.
Slave contract?
Because, okay,
I know.
there you go.
I'm sorry. I know that. I think SM was suing Baekhyun, Chen, and Sumin, like the CBX
From XO.
subunit from EXO, about something. Because EXO apparently is also like, some of them didn't re-sign with SM, but they're still supposed to continue as EXO. But there was some kind of, I'm not up to date on it, but SM was suing them for something.
You can never be up to date on all the drama. But no, the slave contracts, that's just what they call a bunch, especially for like new groups. Basically, your entire training and all of the bills that come along with like making music videos and recording stuff, as well as like training you and like making sure you have vocal lessons, dance lessons, all that stuff, it's put into a bill that you then have to work to pay off in your group. So basically all of these new groups typically start with their debut in debt. All of the members. And they basically are put into this contract of you have to pay off this debt by doing good as a group. And the thing is, the companies themselves are not always great at actually advertising and managing these groups, so they're kind of put into a lose-lose situation. But because that's like all that these people have wanted to do and that they've wanted as like their dream, then they're basically backed up against a wall and they have no other options. And then there's the horrible situations that you hear about with like dorms and stuff, where you hear about these boy groups that were given like one room for 7 or 8 people in like a shitty apartment, and that's what their company gave them. So it's awful. It's kind of like also one of the advantages of if you get into a group under one of the big 4 companies is it could be a really bad contract, but also you're much more likely to succeed anyways, because any groups that are coming out from these companies are automatically going to have more eyes on them, and because of that, that'll make them more likely to succeed. Yeah, we're not talking about YG. We're not talking about Baby Monster.
Oh dear.
Jeez.
I don't know what's going on with Baby Monster. I have not kept up with them. I did not like their sound when they first debuted, and I don't like it now. Apparently, they're still together, Hide. The last I heard, they had a song that sounded like an IVE song, and people were upset that it sounded like an IVE song.
Are they going on concert?
I wouldn't be surprised, but at the same time, with what discography? Like,
I don't
They'll
know.
play Jenga on stage. It's okay.
it's like when Blackpink went on tour and they had to like do covers of songs because they didn't have the songs to perform.
Oh shit, really?
Yes, that's literally what some of their early concerts were.
What the fuck?
Because they never released albums either until the one album that came out. And so they just had a bunch of EPs with like 3 songs on them, and that's all they had to perform for an entire concert.
What the fuck? How? Okay, that's... You didn't have to push a concert that early.
YG is very bad. Like, they're not great. They're like,
I'm seeing that now.
they're kind of money hungry, but they also don't know how to manage the artist to actually make money, and so it's very confusing. Yeah. And that's 21 basically disbanded ultimately, technically because of bad managing too, because they didn't want to stay with YG either, and they've all basically split off into doing their own things, and I feel like they're doing much better than they would have been if they were still stuck under YG, because like CL does her own music, Park Bom does her own music.
Who AT's with?
I don't know.
They're with Block B's company, which
Black Bees?
is
Block
Like
B.
Black?
Block
Oh.
B.
Block B.
Block B. My bad.
Crap. I don't remember. KQ Entertainment. They're not really that well known. KQ Entertainment's other like really big group that you think of is Block B, which I'm pretty sure was a 2nd gen. Zico, which has since left, and etc. etc.
Zico.
I would love to see ATs. And
They're on concert. They're on concert.
they're on tour right now, yeah.
Yeah.
My old coworker sent me a video of San doing something bad.
Okay.
Well, not bad, but you know.
You know, in his underwear on stage. Might as well
I
have
wouldn't
been.
be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised. It's San. He's shirtless half the time, so.
Also, something that happens a lot of the time, specifically in K-pop, that you don't see as much from Western artists, maybe other than Taylor Swift, but that's because she's crazy, is the amount of stuff they come out with in general. And that's why it's crazy when like Blackpink and stuff didn't have anything for like 2 years, because typically the K-pop mindset is very much rise and grind gamers. We're ready to like prepare for our next comeback, because they always have something they're working on within like the next month or something. And so that's why they're so, like with Stray Kids, they've been consistently releasing stuff one after another, like with,
because they make their own fucking music.
but also sure, like there's a time frame in between, but that not as much as say like if you were to look at some kind of Western artist between like their albums, like
That's
they
true.
released a lot of content, and a lot of
They
the
had,
K-pop
like-
groups do.
They had 2 comebacks last year, I think. Like within the same year, and I was just like, y'all are doing a lot. Wait.
That's the thing. I feel like 2 comebacks is a minimum. Like for a lot of K-pop groups, like if you don't have 2, then and you only have 1, then what's going on?
But it's just like, I think it was like the amount of time that they had between the other one. It was really short, and they were just like, wait, what are y'all
We
doing?
didn't even
like,
prepare.
Y'all just had another one.
But yeah. Because it's not just Stray Kids, but a lot of the groups, probably less so new groups that are like less known, but I feel like they're more incentivized to come out with more stuff, because the more sales you get, the more you could like rake in money, which could go towards paying off the debt they have.
Also feel
yeah.
like that is why you see this trend towards mini albums, EPs, all this stuff, because there is an expectation to constantly be putting stuff out and constantly be doing stuff. So,
And now it's all about streaming services too, like how many streams you get on Spotify and everything,
yeah,
because that's going to put you on a
Yeah.
global chart and like see how popular you are.
yeah, it's factored into like the awards and stuff.
And so that's also why you'll see so many groups like copying other popular groups to try and like get that kind of vibe, to see if people will listen to their stuff.
Yeah. I always feel bad for that when you have like a group that's like just like they're famous enough to continue, but like not famous enough to like,
Famous but not quite.
yeah,
Oh,
like
another,
it doesn't
oh my
make
gosh.
sense for them to
Wow.
disband, but
I just thought of another thing. Boy groups versus girl groups fandom wise, because this changes drastically how they're fueled. And by fueled, I mean like if people buy their albums and stuff. Because girl groups have specifically, obviously, a very big male audience, especially in Korea, but they also have female audience too that support them. However, typically they aren't as lucrative when it comes to sales as boy groups are. However, boy groups specifically mainly have a female fan base, but they're willing to invest more into that with their own money.
yeah.
And so they might not have as many views and stuff, but that's why so many smaller boy groups can go on for so long, because their fans are buying everything. And so
That is-
it's a weird dichotomy between the two.
True.
But typically, apparently, female fans are like, I mean, I don't want to say anything, Yoshi, but I know what your K-pop collection looks like.
Oh God, you have a collection?
Of a K-pop, I okay, and this is gonna sound really bad.
No, go
But
on, go on.
Tell the class.
I have
She can't even get it out.
You have
I have
what?
clothes. I have clothes from a group that I was supporting at the
Yeah.
time. The company that they were with, they were like this tiny little group,
Oh, I
and,
remember this story.
and you could purchase
Thank
like
you,
different
Jeanette.
level packages for supporting the group, and it was the Rose. They were this K-pop band. Like they played their own instruments. And I was like, oh my gosh, I only have 2 songs. I want to support them. They're from a little nobody company, and I donated like $400, and I got all this stuff.
Damn.
Yeah.
And one of the things that they sent me, which I didn't know, I got a box like months later, I also got a video of one of them talking to me in broken Korean, which
Aww.
was sweet, but weird too, because I look back at it and I'm like, I have this Korean boy saying my full name into a camera.
Memories.
But I have a sweater. Like that they wore in the music video that the company just decided to give to people that paid money.
So they sold you the sweater that they wore?
Essentially,
Kind
but like
of.
that wasn't in the thing. They just said a special gift. And who knows what that is?
Special gift. Yeah.
Oh God! Just walked up to one of the members. Hey, we need you to rub this on you real quick.
That's
so you
probably
can
what they
send it to
did.
one of
God. Please, no.
I don't know.
Look,
I would
As
like
long
to
as
never
your
know.
essence is on it,
Ugh.
we can
Yes,
sell it.
they're
The
crazy.
fluids.
No, not the fluids.
I would like to think that this was just like the copy of something that they wore and that they weren't actually selling the clothing from, but it was like a tiny company, so I don't know.
I think they were actually selling the clothing.
don't
I think they straight up said, wear this for a day and then give it back. And then they sent that to you.
Yeah.
No, but it was the
It
stuff
was-
that they wore in the music video. It was like the stuff that they wore in the
Exactly.
music video.
Most of
It's
wear
the
in
stuff
music
that they
videos,
sweat in.
They don't keep it. So
So yeah, they got
Why
rid of
not
it.
make
I
a
have
profit off of
this
it?
man's sweater.
Do you still have it?
Yeah, she does,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
the best
Okay.
time to
But no,
wear a striped
I-
sweater.
I was talking about specifically the 2 rows on our bookshelf of all of your K-pop stuff.
Yeah. I have
rows?
different light
2
sticks.
rows.
Oh God, I know
BTS
those light
albums,
sticks are
TXT
expensive as hell.
albums.
I have a light stick.
BTS albums,
I have 2.
TXT. You have multiple.
I have
You
2
like
light
the
sticks.
ones that look pretty though.
I like weird ones or pretty ones. Like I wish I had gotten it before they disbanded, but I loved Cherry Bullet's one because it was just a gun. And that was so funny to me. But no, I have Itzy's and Luna's, and Itzy's I have because it's literally a ring, and I thought that was weird because
Oh,
no
I think
other.
that's the one that you showed me at the K-pop store, right?
Pretty sure, yeah. And then I have Luna's, which is like a staff. It is a
Oh, yeah.
staff that
Remember.
has 12
Yeah.
colors.
That one's cool. That one I think
Yoshi,
is cool.
which ones do you have?
I have the BTS one. I have ATs. I'm pretty sure I have Stray Kids.
TXT.
I know you have TXTs.
TXT. Oneness.
Don't you
I
have?
remember you
Don't you have the
struggling
Lame
to buy
Rose
that
one?
one.
The lame one. Yeah, that was back before they had an official one. Yeah. I have the Lame Rose one. I think that's it. I think that's all I
Jesus,
have.
You have
and
5
then
or 6?
I like
Or just one.
TXT, I like Oneness, I like ATs, I like Stray Kids. I've never been to ATs or Stray Kids concert. I would have gone, but
And this is
You know?
the epitome of
No,
showing
I
the
feel that.
difference between
I would have
a
went
male
to
and
Stray Kids if I could've
female K-pop
afforded it.
stand.
Yeah.
I know. I'm like, I've
I'll
traveled
go to the
go
next one
concerts.
because they're gonna have a world tour
I know.
next year.
I just hope it's not like. I'm pretty sure the last time that Stray Kids went on tour, they had the what type of thing was it? They
Maniac?
did some kind of pricing system where it was like, if they sell a lot of tickets,
Yeah,
it
we
auto raises
do.
the prices of the rest of the tickets.
Oh damn.
Like it was just super fucking expensive, and I was like, yeah, no, I can't.
Well, when I went to look at some of them, like some of them were decently priced. And when I say decently, I mean like
Still
under
expensive.
$500.
Still expensive.
I think one of them was like 300. I was just like, you know what? I could pay that off on PayPal.
Yeah. Hide, we do have a lot of girl groups. Oh my gosh, thank you, Beta Blade. Hide, we do. We have a lot of girl groups. You just don't know them. Yes. No. Okay, here's the thing. Yoshi, you can attest to this. I feel like back in when they were doing the specific Spanish style music, the boy groups were dominant in that like era. Specifically of like not only popularity, but I feel like there was also a lot of newer boy groups coming out in that time. Now I feel like we've shifted to girl
I
group
feel like
central.
girl groups are definitely more dominant now.
Like nowadays I feel like I see a lot more girl groups, not only new ones debuting, but also I feel like we have a lot of like really strong ones that are still going. Like Red Velvet, I think they just had their like 10th year anniversary. Like they've been around for 10 years.
Dang.
I think part of it, I'm not as into the thing, but I could kind of, because I have one of my closest friends from high school was really into BTS in high school.
They all were.
Yeah, but
my-
that's what I'm saying, is that I think because it's not as niche anymore, it's not as common in younger folks as much. So the people who are into K-pop can appreciate more of like the specifics of it, and that's what I think maybe they go towards girl groups a bit more rather than guy groups.
I mean, also similar to that point, like with what I had mentioned with general fan bases versus like what they'll invest. Like both boys and girls are typically fans of girl groups where it's mainly girls of boy groups. And so if there's like a more generalized, I can listen to this on Spotify, not necessarily like buy the albums or anything, in terms of that can make sense, especially with more of like the quote unquote trendy girl groups that are coming out with like New Jeans or like Islet and all of these ones that are making the easy listening music that all of the Gen Z people are loving on TikTok with all of their challenges.
Oh gosh.
I will say, when I think of like K-pop merch, unless I'm thinking of you specifically, Quiz, I only think of boy groups.
I mean, is it
It's
because like you
specifically-
see that stuff more often?
Yes. But I think of like posters. I think of like I mostly think of the people who liked K-pop when I was in high school, because that's when I was the most surrounded by it. And I think of the posters that my friend had in her room. I think of some of the shirts I saw. And most of it was BTS, though. I mean, there may have been others, but I wouldn't have been able to recognize them as K-pop groups.
It could be like little albums and like the little photo cards. I feel like are kind of
Albums.
Oh my gosh, don't get me started on photo cards. That gotcha system.
because, yeah, that's why, because you don't get.
It's
like, you
literally
get
meant to make you buy
specific
more
ones.
albums.
Yes, because there's so many people who like they'll come out with one album, but there have specific sets of photo cards in each one, and that's why you'll see like
And they have like
if they
9
do, like-
members.
Have you-
yeah.
it
They'll
shows
get
that
like
you guys
3 or 4 of the same album just so that they can make sure to have like different sets of photo cards for each member.
it shows that you guys haven't purchased a quote unquote used album. Back when they would in Korea, they have like a lottery system for like a high touch fan sign. I don't know if you guys know anything about that, but it'd be like there's tickets in the albums at these stores, so you'd have these people who would go out there and they'd buy like 200 albums.
Oh,
And
God.
they'd be like, okay, they're like, you want an album? And then they'd have like, they'd go online and they'd be like, okay, so I have 200 albums. You want this version of the album? What kind of photo cards do you want? And what they do is like, you could pick what cards you wanted. And they've opened it to see if there was a ticket in there for a fan sign.
There's like an epidemic though of like a bunch of rich people basically buying their way into fan signs and like high touches.
Oh, I'm
Oh, yeah.
sure.
Well, yeah.
Well,
That's a
yeah.
great way to make
The company
money, though, I
doesn't
won't
care. The
lie.
Well,
company
yes,
doesn't
we get the money in the end.
The company's like, oh, you want to buy 300 albums for a chance to touch our hands? Okay. Like, they don't care.
I wish I had disposable income.
Oh my gosh, there is a picture of me and Quiz.
That's okay, you spent yours on figurines. It's fine.
What?
Well,
Not true.
what picture are you talking about? What picture of me?
The picture of us with the rose.
Oh God. Don't bring that up.
When I dragged him to a concert, it was a free ticket I got you because there used to be, I don't remember what site it was, but you could like vote and be like, I want this group to come here. And like, if you share the link and people like visited the link, you would get points. And I would do this, and then they went on tour and they went to this destination, and I was like the top 10, so I got free tickets, like front row tickets to this concert. And we went to Atlanta and center stage. I've been there before. A lot of smaller groups like to play there. And we have a picture with the group. We went through and we high-fived them.
I was
and we did a
literally
high
her
touch.
human tripod. I just recorded the entire concert on her phone.
What I did at the TXT concert.
Because I was just there. And then one of the guys from the group afterwards, when we were going past, said, I saw you. And I was like, yeah, I saw you too.
I'm in the front row and
I
have
like how you
bright
didn't say
colored
like
hair.
great job up there or nothing.
I mean,
You
I
were
didn't
just
say
like,
anything mean, but it was like,
It was just like, I saw you too.
I should have said you did good, kid. Like, I don't understand.
Great show.
And that was
great show.
before any of
Did
like
you
the
even-
drama stuff happened with them.
Did you even like any of the music?
It's not my style of music.
Okay. fair
Because
point.
that's not a K-pop group in the normal sense. It's a band. Like they play instruments and all that stuff.
Oh.
Hey, I'm giving experiences though, okay? He didn't have to pay for anything. He got a trip to Georgia. Same with that one. Same with Sarah.
That one,
That one.
the one over there, in the skimpy
only-
clothing in front of the bread.
I feel like there was
The
a stark
only-
contrast though.
The only part that I did, like, I'm completely neutral to most of the experience of the TXT concert. The only parts that I generally like is that I'm not a fan of in-person concerts to begin with, because, like, not like those kinds of concerts, just because I don't like a lot of loud noises, and it's usually so much that I get overwhelmed. Luckily, I had earplugs, so I had those in and that helped massively, but I also did not like the giant crowd that we were stuck in.
Yep.
Or like not being sure if we were even gonna get in because you got your tickets off of a sketchy website and we
Oh my
didn't know
God.
if they were real.
You should have seen it when Yoshi went to a BTS concert in Texas.
Yeah, I'm like, hey,
You want to talk
I'm
about
like,
crowds?
You want to talk about crowds? My second experience at a K-pop concert was BTS, like in the height of their boom, the Love Yourself tour. We flew to Texas, me and my friend. We camped outside. It was ridiculous. We camped outside. There was some person who was like writing numbers on your hand and you were in line. And I remember making friends with the people around us. And there was a lantern and we were sitting there and telling ghost stories. And there were people doing random K-pop dances in the street. Like, there were so many people in this small area. But you see the best and the worst of it. Best and the worst of fans. Because I remember morning comes up, you know, and we're all trying to get our wristbands with our number, like our admit number into the arena. And I remember these couple people, this mom and her 2 teenage daughters. Horrible people.
Oh shit.
They like bullied this mom and her 2 kids who were in line near us. Like they cut the line. They ended up getting like I think top 150, less than 150, number wise for like getting into the arena. These horrible people, and then these girls were like rubbing it in this like 12-year-old's face, and she's like distraught, crying. Like 16. Old enough
okay,
to
so
know
they're little
better.
bitches.
Yoshi, you
Alright,
should have
cool.
gone over and said, that's not very love yourself of you.
It's like, it sounds like you're not following what they're preaching. I feel like they're a cult.
It's a sense of entitlement.
They kind of are.
K-pop
Like,
fans.
what is K-pop if not an extended cult with different subsects? Like
That is true.
I just
honestly.
remember that because the mom and like the little girl were sitting there and she's like crying hysterically, and me and Katie went over and we were like, hey, we're like, you did the right thing, because like a lot of people when they started giving out tickets, there was no order anymore. They were just like, run. They didn't push people, they didn't nothing. I'm like, me and my friend were like saying to the girls, like, you did the right thing. Like, I know it doesn't seem like it, like you have a farther back number, but you're still gonna get in, you're still gonna have a really great view, and you didn't like compromise your morals. So she was so sweet. And she was staying at the same hotel that we were. I say staying at a hotel that we didn't really, like, we slept in shifts. People would go back and sleep in the hotel for like 3 hours and they'd come back down.
it was like a stakeout.
And I remember coordinating with somebody online because there was a separate merch line, and like I couldn't be in the ticket line and the merch line at the same time. So I remember giving some person I met off Twitter money to buy me a J-Hope fan thing. And
What?
Wow. Wow.
So I had a J-Hope
Dedication.
fan thing. And then we finally go back to after we get like our numbers. I think we were like in the 300s, and there was like 1,500 floor admits. It was a floor. It was no seats. It was just standing room. We go back, we shower, we get ready for the concert, and then we go back and then we're like, oh shit, they're not gonna follow the admit order of the bands. It was like we slept out for no reason. We were at the back of the line, and then these security guards came out and were like, we're putting your order based on your ticket or on your wristband numbers. And I was like, thank God. And then it started pouring rain, and everybody got soaked before they could get into the arena.
The concert was outside?
No. It started pouring rain.
But they slept outside.
It started pouring rain while we were queuing up to get in. So it was probably like 2 hours before they started letting people in, and it started pouring rain. And when it started pouring rain, everybody tried to like rush under the main area that they had like the barricades and stuff and the metal detectors. It was horrible. I've never been claustrophobic before, but I was squished so tightly during this period that it was
imagine
horrible.
if Sarah was in that crowd, she'd just get lost.
It was horrible.
I mean, to be fair, when we
ventilating at that point.
Yeah, for us.
When we were at the TXT concert, I was holding on to some part of Yoshi the entire time.
Yeah.
That's the only way
I'm
you
like,
can
I
keep
don't
track.
want to be separated.
I broke down like crying like once we actually got through like the barricade portion, because there was like this tiny little security guy like up on one of the barricade fences going like, I 300 through 310, and then those people would like worm their way up through the crowd, whatever, because everybody was like pushing up against the barricade fences. Once we finally got in, I'm like crying hysterically because I'm like, that was such a traumatic experience. I don't ever want that again. But
And then you're like,
once we're
time
in,
for a
we're in.
concert.
Time for a concert, and we're soaked and it's freezing inside. And but the
I mean,
concert
at
was
least
great.
that one was air conditioned. Wasn't the TXT one like very hot inside?
It was pretty warm.
It was pretty warm. We had seats.
All them bodies
So,
Yeah,
together.
we could sit, and we did. Yes.
It was nice. We could sit.
It was nice.
Like, that was
and
great.
we were on the balcony. We were at the front of the balcony, so we didn't really have to worry about not being able to see.
Yeah.
Thank God
Like-
you didn't have a little girl in front of you dancing to the songs like I did when I went to my Perfume concert. Oh
That
my
was
God, that was I was gonna
remember,
push her off
you
the
were-
balcony.
you were
I swear to
mad.
God, I was
Quinn.
not about it.
No!
The mom wasn't doing anything, and I was like, really? Control your child. I'm so over
She was
this.
just excited to be at the
Aw.
concert.
No. Right in front of me? In front of everything? No.
She didn't know who you were.
She can dance in her own seat. She does not have to dance in front of me. But yeah, anyways.
Good times. I would never do that ever again. I've been there. I've done that. I would prefer a seat from now on, here on out. Like,
I feel that.
but it
If
was
you
really
had told
good.
me,
We had
we would have had
barricades.
this.
We
It's
had
true.
barricade like right near like the main stage, even getting in when we did. So I'll take it.
I don't know if I
was-
could ever do a freestanding crowd because I feel like I'm not about that life. I don't want to
I've
have to
done
jump with the
that.
people. Like, I don't want to have to be in that crowd that's like
I
smushed me
don't
so
jump.
much where I
No,
am
no.
carried up and
That-
down essentially.
That happened with TXT. That was like a tiny little place, and they probably had only 1,000 people in there. That was like their showcase. They only had one album, 5 songs to their name.
This
and they
was
went
when
on
she
a
went to
tour.
Chicago.
No, not Chicago. That was here
Yeah.
in Florida.
Nuh-uh. Wait, you saw
Yes.
TXT 3 times?
No, that was the Rose.
That was
I've
the
seen
Rose?
4 groups. I've seen 4 groups in concert. I've seen the Rose, I've seen BTS, I've seen TXT, and I have seen Oneness.
Well,
I've seen 3 of those shows have been standing rooms. Chicago, the Rose, Florida, TXT, and BTS in Texas.
How long did we stand before we got into the
Probably
Concert
only
hall.
like 4 hours or something. It wasn't that
only
bad.
4 hour? Like,
Hours.
my God.
PJ, that's where I saw
Yeah.
Perfume.
I wasn't prepared for this. No one told me how long we would be standing there for.
I like how the line wrapped around like the entire building.
Twice. It did it twice.
We had
Oh
to
my
walk the
god. Wait,
entire
this is the one that
perimeter
was
of
in
the building.
Atlanta?
Yeah,
Yeah.
TXT. It was their Good Boy Gone Bad era.
I did Hide. I saw Perfume in New York. We flew up there.
I remember dying in line with you because somebody was smoking and I was having like an asthma attack.
Well,
Oh, great.
we were at the Hammerstein Ballroom. Literally, when we were in line, we were basically facing the Empire State Building.
Because me and Quiz went earlier because Quiz wanted to get good seats. So we were farther up in line than our parents.
Because the tickets that I had got, all of the tickets that we had gotten were for balcony. Because I did not want to go into the freestanding crowd. So I was like, I want to sit. But we picked those ones. But after you got into the balcony, you could sit wherever you wanted. And so I figured I wanted to get like as close to the edge as possible, and we did. And that's where that little girl, for a part of the set, was just jumping up and down in front of me.
Oh, was she like sitting in the seat in front of you, or
No, we were at the front row. We were the front row.
Okay, now I see why you wanted to push it.
Yes, and the mom was just watching her.
Don't push somebody's child.
But yeah, anyways, that'll be another time. I'll talk about Perfume a different time. This was K-pop. But yeah, this was K-pop. Anyways, we're gonna wrap it up now. I hope Sarah and Faye, you know, who were here for the
I've
vibes.
been to a concert before. You went to One OK Rock.
Yeah, one time.
I was supposed to go with her, but I couldn't make it.
I'm trying to remember. I don't remember if it was Kester and Corey or if it was Faye, Kester, maybe Corey. No, I think it was just Kester and Corey. I remember they went to a K-pop concert recently. Not recently, but like within the past couple of years that they had posted about and stuff. But it was a K-pop concert. I just don't remember which one it was. Anyways, Faye's not here anymore, so we're gonna wrap it up.
Yeah, she isn't.
We're gonna wrap it up, and yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you, Hide, for being so surprised at everything, and also telling us about 21 and making fun of Sarah. Everyone needs to do it at least once in their life. And so with that, I will end. And
thank you for all the followers.
True, thank you for everyone. And I'll be streaming again this Wednesday. The game that Sarah bought. It started playing in her own time.
I am almost done with it.
Yeah, that's a problem, but you know, it's fine.
I played it for like 4 hours last night.
Team too much. Okay, goodbye.
Good night.
Bye.
Oh, look, she came back.
You come back.
Wow.